This book is called Lucky O Leprechaun in School, and it's written and illustrated by Jana Dillon. So thank you so much, Jana, for this awesome little book we're about to read. And should we see who's reading with us? It's our leprechaun friends. He's ready to hear a story. All right. Look at the cover. He's drawing little three-leaf shamrocks, three-leaf clovers. Okay. Sure, the leprechaun trouble started the day Bibi cried, "Mr. Elliot, someone took bites out of Lydia's birthday cupcakes." "How rude," said Lydia. "Who would do a thing like that?" It's true, everyone in class knew each other. They knew no one would do that except maybe the new boy? Everyone looked at Kevin O'Malley. "It wasn't me," cried Kevin. "Look, the bite marks are tiny." "True," said Mr. Elliot. "We believe you. He looked at the class list. Kevin." Kevin O'Malley felt terrible indeed. He had only been in his new school for 3 days. No one here knew his name. No one here knew him at all. He was nobody. That's sad. "Let's get back to your reports on the moon," said Mr. Elliot. "They're due next week." "The moon is a big, boring rock," Bibi muttered. The kids at her table giggled. At snack time, Bibi wailed, "There are tiny teeth marks in my cookies." "Must be mice," said Mr. Elliot. "I'll set a trap with cheese after school." Alas, the next morning they found a pencil caught in the mousetrap, and the cheese was gone. "Ooh, that's sneaky." "Impossible," said Mr. Elliot. "No mouse can outsmart a trap." "Excuse me, Mr. Elliot," said Lydia. "I hear a tiny voice laughing at us from the closet." "A laughing mouse?" asked Mr. Elliot. That couldn't be. Everyone grew silent as he yanked open the door to the closet, but the closet was empty. Suddenly, they heard tiny footsteps clattering above the ceiling. "I hear shoes," cried Mr. Elliot. "Mice don't wear shoes." "Mr. Elliot," said Kevin, "my cousins Meg and Sean caught a leprechaun right in this neighborhood. His name is Lucky O Leprechaun." The kids began to snicker, that means laugh, but the footsteps overhead stopped. "Sure, aren't you the smarty pants, Kevin O'Malley?" sneered a little Irish voice from somewhere above the ceiling. Everyone stared at Kevin. Now they knew Kevin O'Malley's name and would never forget it. "If we catch Lucky O Leprechaun," whispered Kevin, "he'll grant us a wish." "But gosh, I heard you, you little money grubber," called Lucky O Leprechaun. "We better talk on the playground," said Kevin, "so he can't overhear us." On the playground, Bibi and Lydia stood guard, watching for a tricky little man in green while Kevin explained about leprechauns. "If you see a leprechaun, you catch him by staring at him. He can't get away until he grants you a wish. But if you blink before you make your wish, he'll disappear and you'll get nothing." "Oh, please, Mr. Elliot," said Lydia. "May we please trap him?" "Of course," said Mr. Elliot, "but what shall we use for bait?" "Snacks!" shouted Bibi. "Snacks! Snacks!" "The cheese snack didn't work," said Kevin. "We need gold." "Snacks!" said Bibi. "Gold!" said Kevin. "Kevin, we can't leave gold in the school overnight," said Mr. Elliot. Lucky might get away with it, like he got away with the cheese." "Snacks!" said Bibi. "Hush, Bibi," said Lydia, shaking her head. "We need a compromise." That means they need to talk and agree on something. What could it be? "I have an idea," said Kevin. "It's a snack and it's gold." He whispered his plan to the class and everybody cheered, even Bibi. "Now for the wish," shouted Bibi. "Gold! His pot of gold!" "But Bibi," said Kevin, "you know grown-ups, we can't ask for gold because all the adults in town would make us spend it their way." "Sad," said Mr. Elliot, "but true. We'd lose control of it. Then let's ask for something no one can take away from us," said Lydia. Everybody had a different idea. There was arguing and shouting. Then Kevin whispered his idea, and the entire class began jumping up and down, chanting, "Kevin, Kevin, Kevin." So he had a really good idea, it sounds like. The next day, Mr. Elliot set an old cooking pot on his desk. Kevin opened a grocery bag and poured gold coins into the pot. Mr. Elliot turned on a recording of Irish music. "Now, kids, it's time to dance an Irish jig. Except Kevin." Mr. Elliot winked at him. "Kevin, you hold the pot lid in the air and drum this wooden spoon on it so we don't lose the beat." Soon the room was wild with Mr. Elliot and the students dancing. Kevin drummed up a loud racket. See him over here, banging on the drums? Suddenly, he slammed down the lid to the pot. "We got him!" Kevin shouted. "Now, no blinking," warned Mr. Elliot. "Kevin, raise the lid." Slowly, Kevin lifted the pot lid, and there was lucky old Leprechaun himself. The little man stamped his feet. Oh, look at him, he's so little. He stamped his feet. "Sure, and what kind of phony gold is this?" He held up a gold coin and ripped off the foil. "It's mud inside!" Mr. Elliot warned Lydia, "Please make our wish before he escapes." Oh, I hope they get their wish in time. Lucky heard a sneaky smile curled up on his lips. "What's that behind you?" he cried. Mr. Elliot and most of the kids twirled around to see, but nothing was there. Kevin knew they better not wait one more second. "Our class wish, Lucky Leprechaun," Kevin said, "is that you take us on a field trip to the moon." "The moon? No gold?" Lucky began to dance a jig. "They didn't ask me for a pot of gold." "Granted, your wish is granted." The little fellow jumped onto the windowsill. "Take hold of me coattails, Kevin boyo, and everyone join hands." Lucky Leprechaun flew out of the window with the class following him like a kite tail. The children on the playground stopped playing and stared after them. As they flew higher and higher, the school got smaller and smaller. "There's my house," shouted Bibi. "Oh my gosh, there's the whole state. I mean the whole country. I mean the whole world." Soon the kids were standing on the moon, looking back at the beautiful blue and white earth. With a wave of his hand, Lucky Leprechaun made every star visible. They were awestruck into silence. Then, didn't they learn about the moon from the leprechaun themselves? They wrote their names in moon dust and collected moon rocks. Just before school dismissal time, Lucky gathered them for the trip back to Earth. But gosh, it was a thrilling flight that ended right in the classroom. "Mr. O'Leprechaun," said Kevin, "you can keep the gold coins." "Fine present, sport," snapped the leprechaun. "This is foil and mud." "Taste one, please," said Lydia. Lucky sniffed a coin. He took a bite. It's sweet. It's delicious. It's chocolate," shouted the children. Lucky grinned and bowed. I'll be off now." Suddenly, he and the chocolate coins disappeared. But the children heard the crinkling of foil coming from above the ceiling all the next week. And when it grew quiet, they brought him some more. So look at little Lucky. He would hide above their classroom in the roof and eat his chocolate coins. I love it. I love that they got to go to the moon. That was a great leprechaun story, wasn't it? I love it. He granted such an awesome wish to go to the moon. I hope you loved reading that book with us, and I hope you catch a leprechaun one day. That would be awesome. Maybe you can give him some chocolate coins too. All right, thanks for reading. Bye.